Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com, as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A videos affiliate, ringsidenews.com. Got your questions regarding Raw and other topics. Let's get started with the first question today, which comes from Corby W. What did you think of Raw? I think it was definitely a step up from last week. I think it was maybe a slight step up, but I still felt it was a weak show overall. I did like the fact that WWE had a storyline running through the entire show, even though nobody believed that Roman Reigns was winning the WWE title. As soon as I saw Roman Reigns backstage with Dean Ambrose and the Usos, I thought, how convenient. Roman Reigns just happens to be out there in the backstage area with three other guys, and I figured, okay, main event of Raw is going to be an 8-man tag team match. Then there was the announcement that Roman Reigns would face Sheamus for the WWE title, and he would have to win the title within 5 minutes 15 seconds, or else Dean Ambrose would lose his title shot and the Usos would lose their title shots. I did think that this was at least a good idea to try and get people watching the entire episode of Raw, but by the time the Roman Reigns Sheamus match was over and then the 8-man tag team match was announced, I would be shocked if people stayed watching Raw through the end. I would be really surprised. I would have tuned out after the WWE title match, but we'll see what happens with the ratings. I got another question here regarding Raw. This one comes from Philippe. A new heel faction. WWE has no idea what else to do. I agree. It does come off to me like desperation rather than trying to get each one of these guys over as individuals. WWE decided to throw all these guys together as a faction and hope that it sticks and that these guys get over as heels. I felt if this was done more logically over time, where you had these guys given a good reason to align themselves, then I think I would have liked it better. But the fact that 1 week they're all doing separate things, and then the next week they're all together as a faction with no explanation, especially when you take into consideration that the New Day and Sheamus were at odds at Survivor Series. The New Day walked out on Sheamus, and all of a sudden they're totally cool with Sheamus. And is the New Day part of this group now? I mean, doesn't make sense to me what's going on here. Just the fact that WWE is short on heels, so they throw all the heels together, all the mid-card heels together, to try and have one dominant heel faction. It comes off to me as desperation. Alright, this one comes from Marcus. Hey Aaron, what do you think about Tommy Dreamer's return to WWE last night, and what do you think are the plans for him in the future? I would be surprised if Tommy Dreamer is around any longer than 1 or 2 appearances. I could see him possibly being involved at the TLC pay-per-view. I was actually surprised that WWE had Tommy Dreamer and the Dudleys wrestle the Wyatt family on Raw. I figured that once Tommy Dreamer came out, that would be the end of it, and they would set up a match at TLC. Instead, they had a match on Raw, which ended in a no contest, whatever it was. The referee lost control of all 6 guys in the ring. Even though that happens every single week on television, the tag matches always break down and the referee never calls for the bell. Whatever. And we already got the storyline payoff. Bray Wyatt got put through a table, so why even bother now? The good guys already did what they were trying to do. They put Bray Wyatt through a table. So why do I even care in the storyline anymore? But I could see there being another match at the TLC pay-per-view, possibly with Tommy Dreamer involved. Maybe add one more guy to the mix, make it an even 4-on-4, and do like a 4-on-4 elimination tables match, whatever WWE wants to do. I could see that happening at the TLC pay-per-view. But beyond that, I don't see Tommy Dreamer being a regular on WWE Raw. And I got this question here from NBA 2K16. Hey Aaron, with Raw being another awful show again, what do you think of Foley saying it was a good Raw? I wonder if Mick Foley enjoyed Raw just for the fact that his good buddy Tommy Dreamer showed up. I will say Tommy Dreamer appearing on Raw was a nice surprise. It was definitely something unexpected, and it was one of the few surprises on WWE Raw in quite some time. I would like to see more of that. I would like to see more surprises every now and then, bringing back past stars just something to shake things up a little bit and make Raw a little bit more unpredictable. So it is a step in the right direction. Going back to that first question, I do think that this Raw was a little bit stronger than last week, but they still have a lot of work to do. Alright, this one comes from Gimmicks. If any of the New Day members were to break out from the group and be a top guy, who would it be? My guess would be Woods. I don't think it'll be Kofi Kingston because WWE already gave him a big singles push. Xavier Woods, he's entertaining as hell, but his size will work against him. I think when you look at it from a practical standpoint, Big E is the biggest of the three, and I think that he has the most potential to be a major star in WWE. He's the type of guy that Vince likes to push. He's a big guy, and he's very entertaining. He can talk, he can wrestle. He's got a good look. I mean, Big E has the tools to be a major superstar. Perhaps one day, once the New Day is finished, Big E will be a major star in WWE. He certainly has the potential, in my opinion. Alright, this one comes from Walshy. Hi from Ireland. Why is Eva Marie getting such a push on NXT? For me, she is one of the worst all-around I've seen. As Vince would say, it's all about the money. With Eva Marie, WWE sees dollar signs. They think that she's extremely marketable, and it's just a matter of getting her to become a good in-ring performer. Will that happen? Doesn't seem very likely at this point. She's had several years of experience and hasn't shown much improvement. The crowds are booing her out of the building at NXT, and maybe WWE sees that as a good sign. They think any reaction is a good reaction, but I see it as X-Pac heat, and I think once she's on the main roster, she'll fail to make much of an impression if she gets on the main roster, but I think she will at some point because they've already invested so much in her, and it would seem silly if she was not on the main roster and they did not give her that opportunity since they've already put so much into her. I think it'll happen, but I would be surprised if she does end up reaching the full potential that WWE thinks she's capable of reaching. Alright, this one comes from Sean. How long do you think it'll take for Rey Mysterio to get into the WWE Hall of Fame? Please answer in the next video. To me, there's no rush for him to go in the Hall of Fame, especially if he makes a WWE comeback at some point, which is definitely possible. I think perhaps 10 years down the line, that would be a good time to put him into the Hall of Fame, but he's still fairly young. There's no need to put him in right now when he still has several years left in his wrestling career and perhaps has more years ahead in WWE if he comes back at some point. Who was the NWA's best promoter during the NWA's prime 1948 through 1984? Please answer in video. I think I would have to say either Sam Mushnick or Jim Crockett Sr. I think I would go with Sam Mushnick because he was one of the founding fathers of the National Wrestling Alliance, and he was president of the NWA for several years. He was a fixture in St. Louis, which became one of the hotbeds of professional wrestling. When you think of the all-time greatest wrestling cities, St. Louis is at the top of the list, and Mushnick was running that area. I would go with Mushnick. He is my pick. Alright, this one comes from Todd Omler. Do you know why the Freebirds are not in the WWE Hall of Fame? That is a good question. Michael Hayes has been one of the top guys behind the scenes in WWE for years, yet the Hall of Fame has not seen the Freebirds go in up to this point. I think it could just be a timing issue. I would be shocked if the Freebirds do not go into the Hall of Fame in 2016. It makes perfect sense. It's in Dallas. That was the Freebirds' main area. They ran roughshod in that area in Dallas. That was when they were at their peak. To me, that makes the most sense. I mean, I think WWE likes to try and induct people in cities where they had a significant part of their career take place. So Dallas seems like the perfect choice for the Freebirds. I would just be very surprised if they don't go in this coming year in 2016. Alright, this one comes from Dylan Falk. If Edge never retired when he did, what else have WWE had done with him? He at that point had done so much. Please answer in video. Edge even said it himself that he was only a couple of years away from retirement. It was just that injury sped up the process of him retiring. There really wasn't all that much for Edge to do. As the t-shirt said, he had won it all, done it all. Edge had won every major title. He He was in the main event at WrestleMania. He retired as world champion. I mean, you can't really go out better than that. To me, Edge really had one of the best careers in modern WWE history when you look at all of his accomplishments, from King of the Ring, all the TLC matches, the WrestleMania appearances. Edge was a top star for well over a decade. He really did everything there was to do in WWE, and he had nothing left to prove. So, it was a shame that he could not retire on his own terms, but at the same time, there really wasn't all that much left for him to do. Alright, that'll wrap it up for this edition of No DQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please share it with a friend. I'm almost at 50,000 subscribers. Please keep spreading the word about No DQ&A video. The goal is to reach 50,000 by January 1st, 2016. Make sure you vote in the 16th annual NoDQ.com year-end awards. Go on NoDQ.com/polls. You can vote for Superstar of the Year, Tag Team of the Year, and more polls are coming soon. Stay tuned. And with that being said, I will see you guys next time for another edition of No DQ&A video.